Behind every standing ovation is a story we rarely see. The stars who made us laugh and cry often carried struggles hidden from the spotlight, struggles that only came to light when their journeys ended. Tonight, we remember 50 actors whose work shaped our lives, but whose time with us was cut short. Our team carefully researches these stories to honor their legacies with truth and respect. If this tribute touches you, please like, share, and subscribe so their light continues to shine for future generations. Few artists could move so seamlessly between comedy and drama as Robin Williams, whose energy seemed endless and whose imagination felt limitless. From his hilarious performances in Mrs. Doubtfire and Aladdin to his deeply moving role in Good Will Hunting, he became one of the most beloved actors of his time. Yet behind the laughter, he struggled with depression and Lewy body dementia, battles that ultimately led to his passing in 2014 at the age of 63. What remains is a legacy of joy, kindness, and brilliance that continues to inspire audiences everywhere. Even today, his voice, his humor, and his heart remind us that laughter has the power to heal. Heath Ledger was a rare talent whose intensity and vulnerability made every role unforgettable. He first won hearts in romantic dramas, but it was his performances in Brokeback Mountain and his haunting portrayal of the Joker in The Dark Knight that cemented his place in film history. Tragically, in 2008, at just 28 years old, Heath died in New York City from an accidental overdose of prescription medications. His sudden loss shocked the world, leaving behind a career filled with promise and artistry that ended far too soon. Philip Seymour Hoffman was often described as the actor's actor, admired for his ability to completely inhabit every character he played. From his Academy Award-winning performance in Capote to his raw intensity in The Master and his memorable roles in The Hunger Games, he displayed a level of authenticity rarely matched on screen. Sadly, in 2014, at the age of 46, he died in New York City of a drug overdose, a tragedy that cut short a career at its peak. Chadwick Boseman became a global icon almost overnight, though his path to greatness was built on years of dedication. He inspired the world as King T'Challa in Black Panther, while also delivering powerful performances in 42 and Get On Up. Unknown to the public, he was quietly battling colon cancer, showing strength and dignity until the very end. In 2020, at just 43 years old, he passed away in Los Angeles, leaving behind a legacy defined by courage, resilience, and the ability to embody heroes both on and off the screen. Paul Walker became a household name through the Fast Furious franchise, where his portrayal of Brian O'Connor combined charm, athleticism, and warmth. Beyond the screen, he was admired for his charity work and his deep compassion for others, earning him fans who valued both the actor and the man. In 2013, tragedy struck when Paul lost his life in a car accident at only 40 years old. His sudden passing devastated millions, but his memory endures through the films he loved and the lives he touched through his generosity. Alan Rickman was one of cinema's most distinctive voices and faces, able to shift effortlessly between villainy and tenderness. He terrified audiences as Hans Gruber in Die Hard, then fascinated them as Professor Snape in the Harry Potter series, creating layered performances that transcended archetypes. In 2016, at the age of 69, Rickman passed away in London after a battle with pancreatic cancer. His loss was deeply felt across theater, film, and television, as fans remembered not just his commanding presence, but also his wit, warmth, and intelligence. James Gandolfini redefined television with his portrayal of Tony Soprano, a character who was ruthless yet vulnerable, complex yet relatable. His groundbreaking performance on The Sopranos elevated the medium and proved that television could deliver the same depth as cinema. Gandolfini also appeared in films like The Mexican and Zero Dark 30, showing range beyond his iconic role. In 2013, while traveling in Rome, he died suddenly of a heart attack at just 51 years old. Philip Baker Hall may not have been a household name to everyone, but his face and presence elevated dozens of films and shows. He worked with directors like Paul Thomas Anderson in Magnolia and Boogie Nights and appeared in memorable roles in The Truman Show and countless television episodes. Hall was known for his calm authority, making every role believable. In 2022, at 90 years old, he died in California from respiratory disease. His career spanned decades, marked by reliability and subtle brilliance. Michael Clarke. Duncan was a gentle giant whose towering frame belied a tender heart. He earned widespread acclaim for his deeply moving performance in The Green Mile, where he portrayed a man with a childlike innocence and immense compassion. Duncan's presence extended to action roles and voice work, always marked by warmth and sincerity. In 2012, at just 54 years old, he died in Los Angeles following a heart attack. His loss was felt keenly by fans and colleagues alike, who remembered his kindness as much as his talent. Ray Liotta's piercing eyes and intense performances made him unforgettable in films like Goodfellas, where his role as Henry Hill became a defining moment in crime cinema. He also charmed audiences in Field of Dreams and brought grit to countless thrillers and dramas. Liotta had a career defined by intensity and dedication, often playing characters that felt larger than life. In 2022, at 67, he passed away in his sleep in the Dominican Republic while filming. His sudden death stunned Hollywood, but his legacy lives on in the raw energy. Bernie Mac was a comedy powerhouse whose bold, no-nonsense humor made him unforgettable. He broke out with The Bernie Mac Show, which reflected his unique voice and sharp wit, while films like Ocean's 11 showcased his charisma on the big screen. His humor was fearless, his timing impeccable, and his presence magnetic. In 2008, at just 50 years old, he died in Chicago due to complications from pneumonia linked to sarcoidosis. His death came far too soon, but his legacy as one of comedy's true originals continues to inspire laughter across generations. Leslie Nielsen transformed from a straight-faced dramatic actor into one of the kings of comedy, a shift that shocked audiences but defined the second half of his career. With Airplane and the Naked Gun series, he mastered the art of deadpan delivery, turning absurd scenarios into comedy gold. His humor was timeless, often quoted, and endlessly rewatchable. In 2010, at the age of 84, he passed away in Florida from pneumonia. Though gone, Nielsen's comedic genius continues to entertain new audiences, proving that laughter truly never gets old. Burt Reynolds epitomized Hollywood stardom in the 1970s and 80s, becoming a symbol of charm and swagger. Films like Smokey and the Bandit, Deliverance, and Boogie Nights cemented him as a versatile leading man who could deliver both action and depth. His smile, mustache, and magnetic presence made him an icon across multiple generations. In 2018, at 82 years old, Reynolds died in Florida from cardiac arrest. Fans remember him not only as a superstar, but as an entertainer who embodied the fun and glamour of his era. Patrick Swayze was a performer who combined grace, toughness, and vulnerability in equal measure. He became a heartthrob in Dirty Dancing, a romantic hero in Ghost, and a fearless adventurer in Point Break. His versatility made him beloved across genres, from musicals to action films. In 2009, at the age of 57, he died in Los Angeles after battling pancreatic cancer. His resilience and spirit inspired fans during his illness, and his legacy lives on in roles that continue to stir both passion and tears. Philip Bosco was a respected actor of stage and screen, admired for his dignified performances and commanding presence. He appeared in films such as Working Girl and The Savages while maintaining a strong reputation on Broadway, where he earned accolades for his classical roles. His professionalism and artistry made him a favorite among critics and audiences alike. In 2018, at 88 years old, Bosco passed away in New Jersey from complications of dementia. His work is remembered as a reminder of the enduring power of dedication to craft. Harry Dean Stanton was the very definition of a character actor, building a career that stretched over 6 decades with roles both big and small. He brought quiet power to films like Paris, Texas, Alien, and Repo Man, leaving an indelible mark through his subtle style. His face was familiar, his voice unmistakable, and his performances deeply human. In 2017, at the age of 91, He died in Los Angeles of natural causes. Stanton's legacy remains in the lasting impression he made with even the smallest roles, reminding us that true artistry is often found in understatement. Bob Hoskins was a British actor whose energy and versatility made him equally compelling in comedy, drama, and fantasy. He is best remembered for his groundbreaking performance in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where he created magic alongside animated characters, and for his dramatic turn in Mona Lisa. His performances carried both grit and heart, making him a favorite among critics and fans alike. In 2014, at 71 years old, he died in London from pneumonia following a Parkinson's diagnosis. Peter O'Toole was one of cinema's great legends, his career defined by his towering performance in Lawrence of Arabia. He carried elegance, intensity, and charisma into every role, earning admiration from peers and audiences alike. Over decades, he brought life to both historical figures and complex characters, leaving a legacy of artistry and brilliance. In 2013, at the age of 81, O'Toole died in London from stomach cancer. His passing marked the end of an era, but his films ensure that his artistry remains immortal. Dennis Hopper was Hollywood's rebel, a man whose creativity reshaped cinema with Easy Rider. His intensity carried into unforgettable roles in Blue Velvet, Apocalypse Now, and many more, where his presence was electric and unpredictable. Hopper's career was a reflection of his restless spirit and fearless vision. In 2010, at 74 years old, he passed away in California from prostate cancer. His influence on both acting and directing remains a touchstone for artists who dare to push boundaries. Gene Wilder brought magic, whimsy, and warmth to the screen, creating characters who were both eccentric and deeply human. From his iconic role in Willy Wonka, The Chocolate Factory, to his brilliant collaborations with Mel Brooks in Young Frankenstein and Blazing Saddles, he made audiences laugh while touching their hearts. In 2016, at 83, Wilder died in Connecticut from complications of Alzheimer's disease. His performances continue to spark joy and wonder, ensuring his memory lives on in every smile he still inspires. Kirk Douglas was one of the last giants of Hollywood's golden age, remembered for his rugged charisma and powerful performances. His role in Spartacus remains legendary, symbolizing both rebellion and resilience, while films like Paths of Glory revealed his depth and versatility. Beyond acting, Douglas lived more than a century, witnessing and shaping film history itself. In 2020, at the age of 103, he died in Beverly Hills of natural causes. His extraordinary career and perseverance made him a symbol of strength in cinema. Christopher Plummer's elegance and range made him one of the most respected actors of his generation. From his iconic role as Captain Von Trapp in The Sound of Music to his Academy Award-winning performance in Beginners, he embodied both grace and intensity. His career spanned over 60 years, enriching film, television, and theater. In 2021, at 91 years old, he died in Connecticut due to complications from a fall. Plummer's artistry remains an enduring example of professionalism and passion for storytelling. Max von Sydow was a commanding presence whose career bridged European cinema and Hollywood. Known for The Seventh Seal, The Exorcist, and even modern roles like Star Wars, The Force Awakens, he brought gravitas to every performance. His deep voice and expressive features gave life to characters both mystical and human. In 2020, at 90 years old, he passed away in France of natural causes. Sydow's legacy proves that true artistry knows no boundaries, transcending language and genre. Sean Connery will forever be remembered as the original James Bond, bringing sophistication, danger, and wit to the role. Yet his career extended far beyond 007, with acclaimed performances in The Untouchables and Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade. Connery's presence was magnetic, and his Scottish charm made him beloved worldwide. In 2020, at 90, he died in the Bahamas from pneumonia and heart failure while living with dementia. his name remains synonymous with style and timeless charisma. Sidney Poitier changed Hollywood forever as the first black man to win an Academy Award for Best Actor. His groundbreaking performances in the Heat of the Night and Guess Who's Coming to Dinner challenged prejudice and opened doors for generations of actors. Beyond film, Poitier was an ambassador and a symbol of dignity. In 2022, at 94, he died in Los Angeles from heart failure and Alzheimer's disease. His legacy stands not just in cinema, but in history itself. Peter Fonda embodied the counterculture spirit of the 1960s with his iconic film, Easy Rider, a movie that redefined American cinema. As part of the legendary Fonda family, he also delivered acclaimed performances in films like Uli's Gold. His free-spirited image captured a generation yearning for change. In 2019, at 79 years old, he died in Los Angeles from lung cancer. Fonda's contributions made him a lasting symbol of rebellion and creativity on screen. Alan Rickman was an actor whose wit and range allowed him to thrive in both comedy and drama. He earned an Academy Award for Little Miss Sunshine and charmed audiences in Argo and The Russians Are Coming. The Russians Are Coming. His career reflected a sharp intelligence and a gift for timing. In 2023, at 89, he died in California from heart problems. Rickman's versatility made him a unique presence, admired for his honesty and craft. Richard Griffiths became beloved worldwide for his portrayal of Uncle Vernon in the Harry Potter films, but his career extended far beyond that. Acclaimed for The History Boys and his work on stage, he was celebrated for his warmth and skill. His performances balanced humor with humanity, making him a standout in both theater and cinema. In 2013, at 65 years old, he died in England following complications from heart surgery. Griffiths remains remembered for the joy and depth he brought to every role. John Hurt's haunting voice and fearless performances made him one of Britain's finest actors. His portrayal in The Elephant Man was unforgettable, while his roles in Alien and Harry Potter proved his incredible range. Hurt worked across genres, always leaving an impact with his intensity and authenticity. In 2017, at 77 years old, he passed away in Norfolk from pancreatic cancer. His career remains a testament to how vulnerability and strength can coexist in art. Omar Sharif was a true international star, bridging cultures with his unforgettable performances. From Lawrence of Arabia to Dr. Zhivago, his charm and charisma captivated audiences worldwide. Fluent in multiple languages, Sharif was admired not only for his acting, but also for his intelligence and elegance. In 2015, at 83 years old, he died in Cairo from a heart attack after battling Alzheimer's disease. His legacy is one of cross-cultural artistry and timeless appeal. Mickey Rooney's career stretched across nearly 9 decades, making him one of the most enduring stars in Hollywood history. From his youthful charm in the Andy Hardy films to later appearances in Night at the Museum, he proved his versatility time and again. Rooney was not just prolific, but also deeply admired for his resilience and work ethic. In 2014, at the age of 93, he died in California from natural causes complicated by diabetes. His lifelong dedication to performance makes him a rare figure whose career truly spanned generations. George Segal brought humor and warmth to every role, moving seamlessly between comedy and drama. He earned acclaim in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf and made audiences laugh in Fun with Dick and Jane. In his later years, he became a fan favorite again as Pops in The Goldbergs. His presence felt familiar and comforting, the kind of actor viewers welcomed into their homes. In 2021, at 87 years old, Segal passed away in California from complications following bypass surgery. His legacy is one of charm, humor, and enduring appeal. Peter Mayhew became a global icon without ever showing his face on screen. Standing over 7 feet tall, he brought Chewbacca to life in Star Wars, giving the character warmth, loyalty, and heart despite never speaking a word of English dialogue. Off-screen, he was admired for his kindness and generosity toward fans. In 2019, at the age of 74, Mayhew died in Texas from a heart attack. His towering presence continues to be felt every time the Millennium Falcon roars to life. Harry Belafonte was a trailblazer whose influence reached far beyond the stage and screen. Known for his timeless hit, Day-O, and films like Carmen Jones, he also became a passionate activist for civil rights and humanitarian causes. Belafonte used his fame not for vanity, but for change, speaking truth with courage. In 2023, at 96 years old, he passed away in New York from congestive heart failure. His voice, both in music and activism, remains a guiding light for justice and art. Danny Aiello's tough yet tender performances made him one of Hollywood's most reliable character actors. From Do the Right Thing to Moonstruck and The Godfather Part 2, he brought authenticity and heart to every role. Aiello's working-class background gave his characters a relatable realism that audiences loved. In 2019, at 86 years old, he died in New Jersey after an infection following hospitalization. His body of work remains a tribute to honesty and grit on screen. Rutger Hauer was a Dutch actor whose piercing eyes and commanding performances made him unforgettable. His most famous role came in Blade Runner, where his Tears in Rain monologue is still regarded as one of cinema's most moving moments. He also starred in The Hitcher and Ladyhawke, proving his versatility across genres. In 2019, at 75 years old, Hauer died in the Netherlands after an undisclosed illness. His performances remain etched in cinematic history, a blend of power and poetry. Robert Forster was a steady, understated actor who brought authenticity to every role he played. From his Oscar-nominated performance in Jackie Brown to his memorable appearances in Breaking Bad and El Camino, he earned the admiration of critics and fans alike. Forster's natural style made his characters relatable and believable. In 2019, at the age of 78, he died in Los Angeles from brain cancer. His grounded performances remain examples of how subtlety can be just as powerful as showmanship. Albert Finney was one of Britain's finest actors, known for his commanding voice and dynamic presence. He gained fame with Tom Jones and later impressed audiences in Murder on the Orient Express, Erin Brockovich, and even Skyfall. His ability to transform across genres made him a favorite of directors and fans alike. In 2019, at 82 years old, Finney died in London from a chest infection while undergoing cancer treatment. His work continues to inspire actors who value versatility and passion. Charles Durning was a decorated World War II veteran who turned his life experiences into unforgettable performances on stage and screen. Known for films like Dog Day Afternoon, Tootsie, and Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?, he brought humanity and depth to every role. His resilience off-screen mirrored the strength of his characters. In 2012, at 89 years old, Durning passed away in New York of natural causes. His legacy is that of a survivor, a craftsman, and an actor who brought truth to the screen. Ian Holm was a versatile British actor who thrived in both classical theatre and modern blockbusters. He enchanted audiences in Chariots of Fire and Alien, and later won new generations of fans as Bilbo Baggins in The Lord of the Rings. Holmes' performances carried warmth, intelligence, and depth. In 2020, at 88 years old, he died in London from a Parkinson's-related illness. His career remains a masterclass in versatility, showing how an actor can move effortlessly between stage and screen. Leonard Nimoy became immortal as Spock in Star Trek, a character whose calm wisdom and quiet strength touched millions across the globe. Beyond the franchise, he was also a director, poet, and photographer, proving that his creativity went far beyond a single role. Nimoy's influence on science fiction and pop culture is immeasurable, inspiring generations to embrace logic and curiosity. In 2015, at 83 years old, he died in Los Angeles from complications of COPD. His legacy continues every time someone gives the Vulcan salute and remembers to live long and prosper. Philip Carey was a rugged performer whose career spanned decades in westerns, films, and long-running television. He became best known for his role in the soap opera One Life to Live, where his distinctive voice and presence made him unforgettable. Carey was the kind of actor who brought authenticity to every project, regardless of its size. In 2009, at the age of 83, he died in New York from lung cancer. His steady contributions to entertainment made him a familiar and trusted figure for generations of viewers. Andy Griffith created a unique brand of warmth on television, becoming a cultural icon through The Andy Griffith Show. His portrayal of Sheriff Andy Taylor turned him into a symbol of kindness, patience, and small-town values. Later, he reinvented himself as a courtroom favorite in Matlock, winning over a whole new generation. Griffith's ability to embody trust and decency made him one of the most beloved TV stars in American history. In 2012, at 86 years old, he died in North Carolina after a heart attack. His shows remain timeless treasures for families across the country. Bill Paxton was a versatile actor who seemed at home in every genre, from action blockbusters to heartfelt dramas. He starred in Twister, Titanic, and Apollo 13, as well as cult favorites like Aliens and Near Dark. His enthusiasm and approachable charm made audiences root for him, no matter the role. Paxton was respected for both his passion and his professionalism. In 2017, at the age of 61, he died in Los Angeles from a stroke following heart surgery. His loss left a gap in Hollywood, but his energy remains alive in his films. Luke Perry captured the hearts of an entire generation with his role in Beverly Hills 90210, where he became a teen idol of the 1990s. Later, he impressed with deeper, more mature performances, including his role on Riverdale. Off-screen, he was known for his kindness and humility, which only deepened fans' admiration. In 2019, at just 52 years old, Perry died in California after suffering a massive stroke. His sudden passing shocked the entertainment world, but his charm and generosity continue to be celebrated. Ray Stevenson was an actor with commanding presence, bringing intensity to roles in Rome, Punisher, Warzone, and Marvel's Thor films. He had a rare ability to balance toughness with humanity, making his characters both powerful and relatable. Stevenson's career was still thriving when tragedy struck. In 2023, at the age of 58, he collapsed while working on set in Italy and died shortly after. His untimely passing cut short a remarkable career, but his impact continues through the roles that showcased his strength and charisma. Alan Thicke was beloved for his role as Jason Seaver, the wise and warm father in the sitcom Growing Pains. Beyond acting, he was also a songwriter and host, contributing creativity across multiple fields. His humor and sincerity made him a fixture in television during the 1980s and beyond. In 2016, at 69 years old, Thicke died in Burbank after suffering an aortic rupture while playing hockey. His loss was deeply felt, but his work as an entertainer and creator continues to live on. James Caan was one of Hollywood's most dynamic actors, unforgettable as Sonny Corleone in The Godfather. He brought intensity to films like Misery and charm to comedies like Elf, showing a range that few could match. Caan's performances often blended toughness with vulnerability, making his characters feel authentic. In 2022, at 82 years old, he died in Los Angeles from a heart attack connected to coronary artery disease. His reputation as both a powerhouse and a beloved figure in Hollywood remains intact. Treat Williams was admired for his versatility, shining in films like Hair, Prince of the City, and television dramas such as Everwood. His passion for acting and approachable nature made him respected by colleagues and beloved by fans. Williams' career spanned decades, filled with memorable roles that showcased his depth and dedication. In 2023, at the age of 71, he died in Vermont following a motorcycle accident. His sudden passing was heartbreaking, but his performances continue to resonate with those who valued his talent. Robbie Coltrane became adored worldwide as Hagrid in the Harry Potter films, a role that made him a beloved figure to millions of fans. Yet his talents went far beyond that, earning acclaim in the series Cracker and numerous films that showcased his wit and warmth. His larger-than-life presence carried both humor and gravitas. In 2022, at 72 years old, he died in Scotland from multiple organ failure linked to diabetes and other health complications. Coltrane's memory lives on in the joy he brought to audiences young and old. Legends never truly die. They live on in the stories they told and the memories they left behind. These 50 actors gave us laughter, tears, and performances that shape the way we see the world. Each one left behind more than just roles. They left behind legacies that continue to inspire across generations. Our team carefully gathers these tributes so that their voices are not lost to time, ensuring their work remains appreciated and remembered. If this tribute touched you, please help us keep these memories alive by liking this video, sharing it with others, and subscribing for future stories. Though their journeys ended, their art endures, reminding us that the power of film and television can make someone live forever.